Take a walk with Russ Cohen and you'll quickly learn that he's got a sixth sense, because here,
Just take the bark.
here,
It's a delicious plant and I love to make pies from it.
almost everywhere he looks,
The flowers smell just like jasmine and they taste like sweet pea pods.
he sees edible plants.
And then this and this and this and this.
Long before Cohen wrote his edible plant guide, Wild Plants I Have Known and Eaten, he was a Weston High School sophomore taking an optional edible botany class.
We learned about 24 species of plants. I taught myself over 70 more species, and by senior year of high school, I was teaching that class.
So we head to Waltham Fields Community Farm, where after paying it forward by purchasing some fresh produce, we were given access to their fertile edge brush, where Cohen offers 4 tips for future foragers. Tip 1. Everything is not edible.
I did not learn this stuff by walking down the trail, popping stuff in my mouth and see what happens, because all that trial and error work has been done by the indigenous peoples of this region who were here for thousands of years, and I'm very gratified for that knowledge. Build up your experience and confidence with the stuff that you feel comfortable with.
Tip 2. Beware of mushrooms.
Unfortunately, the risk of getting seriously poisoned and even dying from eating a wild mushroom is much, much greater than for plants, because there are at least 6 mushroom species that grow around here that are potentially lethal, and there's nothing from the flavor whatsoever that gives you any advance warning that there's anything to worry about.
Tip 3. Location, location, location.
I encourage people not to forage is places that are really heavily manicured, like closely cropped lawns, golf courses, any places where they're putting down a lot of chemicals to subdue the stuff they don't like. But there's also a lot of open space out there where the plants can sort of do their thing, like the edge of a school ball field, the edge of the bike path, or even your own backyard. Here we are at the end of a row of cultivated radishes, but I'm here to talk to you about a weed that's trying to grow with the radishes. This is called purslane. It's delicious raw, straight into your mouth.
Tip 4. Patience is a virtue.
We've gotten a little bit spoiled, gotten used to going to the store and buying anything we want any day of the year we want, but nature doesn't work that way. Something comes into ripeness and it's ripe for like a couple weeks and then that's it. Other species have a long season of availability. This peppergrass plant has a long season of availability, so you can find it at this stage from like June until November.
While Cohen has his pick of edible greens, he is not a vegetarian. A 2019 Gallup poll reported 2/3 of Americans eat meat frequently. That number has remained steady. However, the number of hunters, or people who harvest their own meat, is in decline.
Deer are known as edge dwellers.
Dan Wolf is a hunter, though he's not hunting today. We've met here on private property in Dover to talk about his experience and what he sees as his place in this ecosystem.
You eat what you harvest, but you don't harvest to eat. Explain that distinction.
I am a big fan of venison. I much prefer to eat an organic, healthy, free-range meat, but if I don't harvest a deer, I'm not going to starve to death.
Massachusetts hunters require a license, and it is a shotgun-only state, meaning you cannot use a high-powered rifle for hunting deer. Wolf's preferred implement is bow, though due to health issues, he was granted an exception to use a crossbow.
The cautionary tale, I suppose, is, you don't just grab a bow and come out here and start shooting things. It takes a lot more than that.
You have to take a bow hunter's education and safety course along with a general safety course. You need to practice and practice and practice day in and day out, it seems, in order to be a proficient bow hunter, because the last thing we want is to haphazardly injure an animal.
Wolf has found more opportunities to hunt by reaching legal agreements with private landowners who have deer problems.
These problems can range from destruction of their landscapes every year, to tick-borne diseases, to vehicular collisions, destruction of the habitat of the ecosystems. It's up to the individual if they want to partake in it or not. But I find it so rewarding to help others, to provide myself with my preferred type of food. And most of all, when I sit here for 3-4 hours at a time and it's quiet, it doesn't matter if I see a deer or not. You'll see a hawk like land here. I've had owls, over my shoulder. It's pretty cool.
Wow, and back to Russ Cohen. He has a new nickname for himself, the Johnny Appleseed of native edible species.
Well, after retiring from his day job in 2015, he started a nursery, and it's now grown to more than 1,000 edible plants, most of which he grew from seeds that he gathered himself. So he's improving our edible landscape sort of one plant at a time.
It's very impressive. All right, next, enrolled in Nature's Classroom.